think that's a very clever decision. I have to admit, I would have been tempted to just look Dennis up and take the race. But what do you think? He did very well there, did Ken?
Getting like it's nearly there, isn't it?
Taylor, top of the pops, but closely followed by Mark Williams.
The blinds are 20 and 40. Ken Doherty is now in an interesting situation. He's still got fold equity. You can force others to fold, but he needs to use his money very, very wisely. He doesn't want to be getting in calling pots anymore, I think.
Cool.
Well, he's limped in here, and I'm guessing the reason is, Norman, he thought, listen, if I raise, I can't really fold to a re-raise. And he said, well, I'll just give myself one chance before the blinds go up and I have to go all in. I mean, it's a strategy.
Absolutely. And his other strategy, he still has enough to push all in with a re-raise and take a pot down. But he won't have if he keeps limping.
Check.
A lot
Check.
of possibilities here.
Check.
Willie with the top pair,
100.
though. And Steve is going to have to make a tricky decision here. I mean, it's middle pair, but it's against Willie Thorne on the button. And you can see what he's thinking. He's thinking it's just Willie. He don't have nothing.
He may be in for a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
That's the problem with playing a player like Willie Thorne. He could be
Raise to
bluffing.
250
We've seen him
thousand.
do it. He
Pass.
puts these little bets out, doesn't he?
Pass.
Another what to me?
Another 150 to me.
I think Steve Davis is in trouble here. And I don't think Steve likes this call. I mean, obviously there's a lot of draws out there, Norman.
Yeah.
So it'll probably depend on what the turn is before he makes up his mind what to do.
We're seeing an entirely new Steve Davis today.
He's
He's played more pots than he played in 3 days of the World Series of Poker.
That's not a bad bluffing card. He won't think that helped Willie's hand.
300.
Now Willie's thinking, is it ace king? Has he got an overpair to the board? I like this. It's a very strong play from Steve.
You know, Willie Thorne doesn't like to lay down a hand, but this is Steve Davis, the nuts man. It's a big, strong bet.
Willie doesn't like it.
He's folded it.
Fantastic play by Steve Davis.
You got him off it.
I can't believe it. The person who's most likely to call at the whole table, Willie Thorne, he pushes him around.
He didn't show him, did he?
The other one was the same.
I think he did.
Chips twice to do me. Is that in front?
You know, Jesse, a lot of us old boys, I mean, Steve Davis is
be
about 50 years old now, you know. We're sick and tired of being pushed around by these young kids. I say to everybody out there, come on, guys, let's get out there. Let's call with 5-3 offsuit and hit that straight and bust those aces.
Good old days.
I think, Norman, it just goes to show you, I mean, twice now, and Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis, the aggression, if you get that bet in, aggression can win the day.
Pass.
I think modern poker, especially in this format, aggression is absolutely key. If you're timid, as we've noticed Barry Hawkins has gone into his shell now, you're just chasing cards.
Right.
These guys are showing you they don't need cards to chase you out of a pot.
This is game on, and
Raise 100.
a couple of limps with strong hands, and now Hawkins has found face cards in a big blind. 100 more, he says.
Call.
Cool.
100 more.
100.
No, Williams has got the best hand, but he might not like it.
Ace 10's one of those hands, isn't it? You know, if you're up against Ace Jack, you're a big underdog, so you're a little bit worried about committing too many more quid to the pot. Keep wanting to say chips.
I like the pass. I mean, Taylor's got more of a reason to call because he's actually in position this hand. He'll get to see what Hawkins does after the flop.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark Williams is showing discipline. He's being aggressive at the right points. His timing looks good today.
Barry's problem is this pot is going to start approaching the size of what he's got left in his bankroll. He's got to make a big bet here to try and win this.
You need-
Nothing but a big bet will do.
He needs to bet 250
Check.
into this. A check shows weakness. I must admit his dwell as well. Hawkins
200.
thought for a long
200.
time it gave Dennis the confidence to put a decent bet in here.
Well, Taylor's just going to swallow him up now. Don't show weakness against me, he says.
Now I hope that Barry gets away from this, because he had 2 overcards to the board before against Dennis, with his ace and king against Dennis's full house, and he did pay overvaluing his overcards here, so
Pass.
not this time. Well done, Barry.
Taylor, the king high. It was the best hand, but he thought he was bluffing and just saw a little spot there and dove in. Let's have a look at our official ranking of poker hands. Every 5-card poker hand falls in the official ranking of poker hands. At the bottom of the ladder, high card only. Higher than that is a pair. 2 pairs is higher still, and 3 of a kind is sometimes called a set. A straight is 5 cards in a row of any suit, while a flush is 5 cards of the same suit in any order. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind is self-explanatory, and a straight flush is 5 cards in a row, all the same suit. A royal flush is top of the pops. That's a straight flush, ace high.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Gone
it's
up,
good.
it's gone up.
Is it 5:30 now?
£5
Goes up every month.
to get into the country.
Honestly,
Pass.
you wouldn't have it give you, would you, Wales?
You wouldn't have it give you.
Pass.
I hope they show that bit.
Obviously doesn't get,
Exactly. Yeah. Be like Anne Robinson.
Yeah, they have to get that bit.
doesn't get a lot of work in Wales, really.
Yeah,
Obviously.
you do well though.
What were you saying about Wales?
I think it's a great place.
Fantastic.
I love it. Well, now we
Right.
can you.
I love the Newport Class shelter.
Hawkins with the raise from the button. These guys
Raise
are having
to
fun.
140
You know the
total.
Newport
Pass.
turn off, don't you? Yeah.
Re-raise another 100.
You have to go
Said
with
you married her.
140.
Well,
So 140 plus. No, that was the
it's
line,
about
wasn't
asking questions of your opponent. Barry Hawkins now has a big decision. If he just calls, how does he know he's not dominated? We know he's not dominated. We can see the hold cards, but I think this is a situation where a lot of players would re-raise all
First one
in
here, boys.
or put the hand down.
What have you
140%.
Oh, yeah, go, haven't you?
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
140
Ricky
score
said they can
raise.
go.
Not the 40.
Just check the money though.
Yep, 20.
Yeah?
That's
You needed 100
140,
indeed.
and that's his 140.
Okay.
It's a minimum re-raise, but as you say, Norman,
Good, so it's 140.
Barry Hawkins is
Just
probably
raise.
thinking about this as all or nothing.
He's had to lay hands down recently. He is our low stack, Jesse. He's got to gamble sometime, and a lot of players leave it too late to take the chance. If he knew he was in a race, he'd probably take
yeah.
this, I think. And he does. Well done. I can't see Willie putting it down.
There's not
How
much.
much more is it?
There's not much in their bankroll sizes right now. I think. Oh, Willie's got about 250 more, or something like that. This is going to be the key pot for both of their tournaments.
This is a classic no-limit hold'em race situation. 2 overcards against an under pair.
No, he's not folding. Surely he's not folding.
He folds
Oh,
and
he
face
thinks
up.
he thinks he's against a higher pair, Norman.
Huh? Ace king.
Shall I show you or not?
Yeah, go on.
Show them one lower than the lines.
No, no, like that.
Yeah, ace king.
No,
Ace for ace
not-
king.
King jack.
And
What do you think of that lay down there? Willie Thorne laying down a pocket pair, a medium pocket pair, granted, but still a pocket pair.
well, if he was right, if Barry Hawkins had a bigger pair, obviously would have been the right lay down. He obviously re-raised for information, Norman, and he had the guts to sort of take the information he was given. Unfortunately, he might have just sort of. I think he just misjudged Barry Hawkins' mental state a little bit. That Barry Hawkins was sort of down to his last stand, and that was it.
Pass.
Didn't have to be 2 nines there.
Well, Willie is in a bit of trouble down. He's down now. He's down to £600. Ken Doherty is even worse shape with only 380 left behind. He has 1 move to make.
You know, Norman, I believe that Willie has it in his mind that everybody thinks he's such a loose player.
Never.
That in his mind they won't be making plays